Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Jaden Dupree, and today I'm going to be showing you 8 different ways that you can make this shot. We have our 8 ball up on the short rail, about a ball's width away from the rail. We have our cue ball down here, about where the spot would be if it were on this side of the table, and we have no direct shot. We're going to have to bank this 8 ball. And our most natural options are going to be the full table bank to either one of these corner pockets. But before we do any banking, we need to remember our 3 most important things when it comes to bank shots. Number 1, the angle in equals the angle out. Angle of incidence equals angle of reflection or refraction. Physics folks, check me in the comments. But whatever angle we hit this 8 ball into the rail is the angle it's going to come out. Number 2, whatever spin is on the cue ball, the opposite spin gets transferred to the object ball. So if we put a bunch of left spin on this cue ball, our 8 ball is going to have a bunch of right spin. If we put a bunch of right spin on our cue ball, our 8 ball is going to have a bunch of left spin. So whatever's on the cue ball, the opposite gets transferred to the object ball. And number 3, it's all about speed. The slower you hit a bank shot, the more it tends to open up or widen the angle. The faster you hit a bank shot, the more it tends to shorten up or shorten the angle. So remember those 3 things. There's a lot of variables that go into banking, and that's why there's not many perfect systems for it. So just to be safe, we're going to shoot the bank shot towards this corner pocket, and we're going to use outside spin, or right spin in this case. And we need to go back to rule number 2 of our bank shots. Whatever spins on the cue ball, the opposite spin goes to the object ball. So right spin on our cue ball means the 8 ball will have left spin. So that means we need to hit it a bit thicker than we normally would to account for that, because it's going to want to go more to the left. And also, the slower we hit it, the wider it will go to the left. The faster we hit it, the more it will go in this general area, the more it'll shorten up. But really the idea with this shot, I might not make the bank shot here, I might not even come close, but the idea is to get the cue ball back down to this rail. So just to demonstrate that, we're hitting the 8 ball a little thicker than normal. We're going to hit it pretty hard to make sure we get our cue ball. We missed the 8 ball. The cue ball is tracking down here, and we would have liked to get a little bit further down. But we got some good separation and distance. Let's see if our opponent makes the 8. He does. What a shame. And he controlled the cue ball too. But whenever I'm going all out offensive on these shots, I'm using inside spin. As I said, it just helps me find that line a little bit easier. So we get to hit our 8 ball a bit thinner than normal to account for rule number 2, whatever spins on the cue ball, opposite spin on the object ball. So I'm using left spin. I'm hitting the 8 ball a bit thinner than normal, and we're going to make it right here. Same idea on this side. Let's see those 2 banks. So our next shot is going to be the 3-rail bank shot into either one of these sides. And if you're saying, wait, which 3 rails? We're going off the short rail, long rail, short rail, side pocket. And the idea behind this shot is that if you miss it, if your 8 ball hits this side of the side pocket or this side of the side pocket, it's going to track back to where it is now. And your idea is to leave the cue ball back down here, so you leave your opponent the same shot that you just had. So we're going to aim to bank the 8 ball a little bit long of this corner pocket. We want our 8 ball to come in somewhere in between this second and first diamond around here. And we really just want to focus on our speed. Our speed is the most important thing on this shot. In a real 8 ball situation, you don't really care about making this. You're just trying to get out of the inning, leave your opponent safe. If you make it, fantastic, you just made the shot of the night. Only thing that can really go wrong is if you lose your cue ball or if the 8 ball rattles in the side pocket, but that's just brutal. That's pool. That's what you have to deal with. But we're definitely going to try to hone in that speed, make sure that we leave this shot if we don't make the 8 ball. Let me just show you how often you can do this. So I'm just going to get down, aim a little bit longer than the bank. our 8-ball tracks back up to that rail, and look, our opponent has the same shot we just had. So our next shot is going to be the classic 4 rails in the corner. If it's not a classic to you, we're going off this short rail, off this long rail, this short rail, this long rail, into the corner pocket. Now there's not much defense or safety with this shot, simply because the 8-ball is going over the corner pocket if you hit it accurately. You can try to wrap the cue ball around and bring it down here like we did with the 3-railer in the side. Just again, it's not going to the short rail unless you hit it horribly. It's going to end up somewhere over the pocket. So always nice to leave your cue ball near the rail, but this might be an all-out offensive shot, like a banks by the rail shot or something. But on these shots, I always use a good bit of outside English, especially if I'm cutting it. If I don't have to cut it at all, I might not use any spin. But if I'm cutting this, I'm definitely using a bunch of outside. So let's say we're going this way around the table to this right-hand corner pocket over there. Left hand for you guys, I believe. But I'm going to load my cue ball up with left spin, which will transfer right spin onto our 8-ball. So our 8-ball is going to be traveling around, full table, right spin on it. Our cue ball is going to be coming down here, somewhere in this general vicinity. Our good line for this shot, I always judge it. There's lots and lots of systems out there, but none of them are perfect because it's so variable with speed and spin. So variable. The faster you hit it, the more likely it is to shorten up and hit this side. The slower you hit it, the more likely it is to lengthen out and hit this side. So I don't really view this shot as having a system behind it. I know we all wish there were systems for everything. We could just count diamonds and do some little math, some addition, some subtraction, and we make the shot. But unfortunately, that's not how pool works. But a good line here, I kind of want my 8-ball to hit somewhere around this third diamond, and I always judge it by the exit line. I want my 8-ball, when it contacts the third rail, to be around this second diamond or maybe a little bit higher. I tend that whenever it hits that spot, it tends to go in. That's what I find out. So I don't think there's an exact system here for you. There are systems that exist. There are YouTube channels that will try to show you the system and say you'll make it 1,000,000,000 times out of 1,000,000,000. That's not reality. So let's take a look at this shot. We need to make sure to hit it hard enough to get the 8-ball to the pocket. That's really it. It's a big feel shot. You'll see Efren shoot this a lot. Efren doesn't use a system for it. You'll see Francisco Bustamante shoot it a lot. Most pro players don't have a system for this shot. It's a feel shot, so you're going to have to practice it. But let's take a look at what it looks like in both of the corner pockets. All right, and so for our final 2 bank shots and our most difficult 2 bank shots, we're going to be one-railing this 8-ball. Now we've already one-railed it in the corners. We can't one-rail it in those corners, so that only leaves us with the side pockets. Now these side pockets are so tiny from this angle, especially with 4 1/4 inch pockets. From this angle, we have such a small margin of error right here. That's what makes the shot so difficult. There's no system for it. I don't foresee it coming up in any games, so don't sweat it if you can't make this shot frequently. Nobody can. But I see it coming up in a game called golf. Very specific bank situations this shot comes up. So it's nice to know that it's available. So you're going to have to hit it pretty slowly to get the pocket to accept it. You're going to have to hit it at something called pocket speed. So that way if the 8-ball hits this point, which it probably will hit this outer point and just wobble in. You're trying to get that wobble in. If you hit it too hard, you'll hit the point and it'll just go wherever. It won't wobble in. So let's take a look at these 2 bank shots. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for sticking around. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like down below. Let me know in the comments section what videos you'd like to see next. I want to thank Jay Flowers for sponsoring this video. Go check out their cues and cases and the links in my bio down below. And I will see you guys in the next video.